Good afternoon, almost good evening. The time is just gone 5:30 by the G-Shock Rangeman, which we're wearing today. Well, we're wearing that on the left, and of course we've got the Fenix 7X on the right. Of course, we've got Lassie as usual. And the reason why I stopped, I wasn't actually going to stop, but I was coming along here. Many of you have seen this track and that bridge and those stones on my channel, plus everyone else who's doing bloody YouTube now on their videos as well. It seems like everybody has to now get their camera out and make a YouTube video, it seems. Anyway, we better try and you know, not always have double entendres on here, although that is definitely the best approach, as Lassie is eyeing up dinner over there. But what we're going to be doing today, as you can tell, we are in a slightly different place to our usual place, but obviously we're back in our other usual place. I just wanted to show you one thing quickly. I found another use, I hope you can see here, of Ron, your dingly dangly bits being very useful here. So I put the microphone there. Well, we had to have some double entendre at the beginning, didn't we? So what I'm going to do is I want to camp somewhere in the valley along Doe Tor Brook. Now, when I've camped before, you either walk up this path. There's a path which you can see going through there. So Chris, Gorman, and if you're going up Doe Tor, cross here, and then there's a path that takes you up to the top of Doe Tor. That's the steepest. It is the steepest, but it's kind of like the more direct and easy route up. You can kind of see the path going up, you know, to the top over there. Or of course you can take the baby path up that way and then up to Doe Tor up there, of course. But what I want to do is, rather than camping in that shelter spot, which is still an option if I can't find anywhere, so at least I know that I have somewhere, what I want to do is to walk around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk along this path here, but I'm not going to go to top. I'm going to go to top of this gorse, and then once I get to top of the gorse, which is kind of like where the shadow is, I'm going to walk around Doe Tor, and I'm kind of hoping that that height is about the same height as where the river will be when you kind of walk around the back of it, as it were, or the brook. That's kind of my thinking. At the very least, you won't be having to walk up the top here, up the top, and then down to the water. By doing it what I'm thinking, at the very least, I will cut out a lot of elevation climb. So that's really all I just wanted to talk about. You know, when you're navigating somewhere, it's kind of like a navigating, it's kind of like a navigating tip. Here you are, we're literally, you know, what, 2 or 3 or 4 minutes into a Tony Hobbs video, and we're giving you tips already. So so you don't necessarily have to climb up to get somewhere. You know, if you can go around, if you can get around something, then obviously, you know, get around it. So that's what we're going to do today. And Lassie is thinking, for the love of God, will you hurry up? Because I want to get into that water just down there. You want to go in the water, Lassie? Is that what you want? Is that what Lassie wants? You want to go in the water? Look at your waggy wag tail. Look at your waggy wag tail. I hope you're prepared, Lassie, because we've only got the solo tarp tonight. Not that you ever come inside with me anyway. Are you ready? Are you ready to go and get your feet wet? Okay. Come on then. I swear you were waiting for me there, Lassie. You can have a splash. I literally walked across here and she was waiting the other side. So she was either waiting because she wanted to be filmed, or she was sort of waiting for me to tell her that she can have a splash. I'm not quite sure which it is. Actually, this zooming function on this iPhone is quite clever. We can zoom in on you now, Lassie, so we can. I've had this before. Obviously, I've been using the iPhone a lot, but I tend to use the GoPro for these walking about bits. I think we should get her walking a bit more, Lassie. It'll be 6 o'clock soon, and it would be nice to set up camp this evening before it gets too cold. Well, good morning everybody. I didn't do any recording last night because I just sort of kind of pitched and kind of got, settled down into camp, as it were. But we're in a different spot. We're going to do, or at least the plan is to do 3 different camps this trip. So I suddenly realised that it's gone 11 o'clock. And time is kind of ticking by. We're not going to be walking, a massive distance today. So basically, we're between Doe Tor and Rab Tor. I have to say, normally, I try not to camp quite so close, to the car and civilization. But I just wanted somewhere, there was a leapfrog point, to get me into the moor, and I didn't want to be walking too far yesterday. So I found this really quite nice little spot down here, perfect for the tarp. I hadn't brought the grey Solo out for quite a while, so I've come out in the grey Solo tarp just for a change from the Duo. And I'd forgotten how it's kind of a bit more cozy in here. But if you pitch the front pole, if you get your erection up quite high, as it were, here, it's surprising you still have, and I'm undercover, I still have headroom, to sit up in the door. So, and I've pitched the back of it, quite low. But it's a surprising amount of room in here. I haven't pitched the sides, right down to the ground. Less than a foot off the ground at the front. And then the back is, quite close to the ground, about 6 inches or something like that. So we'll just pop outside. We'll just pop out. Oof, if I can extricate myself. It's a little bit more. Oh God. Yep. Oh God. Popular around here, shall we say? I popped out 5 minutes ago because I need a pee, and I thought, well, I'll come outside for a change. And I saw about, 8 or 10 people just over there in the distance. They were, a little way away, but you could kind of see them. You could see there were people there. I couldn't tell ages or sex or anything like that, but I could see that there were people there, and they've it wasn't that long ago that they were there, to be honest. I think the beast of Dartmoor must have swallowed them up. So they've, oh, I see them, they're over there now. Yeah, they're heading up there. So what's there? 2, 4, was a 3 in the front, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, tail end Charlie, 13. There's about 13 people, but thankfully they're going they're going in that direction, and I'm going to be going in that direction. I don't see big packs on them, so I don't think they're heading over to Doe Tor, which is where I'm heading today. Obviously we have Lassie splashing around as usual. She spent most of the time she's been here splashing. You can kind of imagine her time here since we got here about 6 o'clock last night ish. Probably half of that time she's probably spent in the water there. I got my water from just upstream there a little way. When I see 14 people, then you kind of know which direction I'll be going, and that's the opposite direction. I must have, personally, I couldn't, oh God, I'm falling over my own feet. I couldn't think of anything worse than walking around, well, anywhere, to be honest, in a group like that. But I mean, I'm not going to knock it though. Obviously some people there, you know, they're nervous coming out here, you know, they need guiding, and that, so it's a good thing. Gets people out. Just certainly not for me. So let me just show you around here, because I really do need to start thinking about packing up quite quickly really now. So what I've done, you can see I've pitched the front quite low here, and we're just inside there. You can't beat being inside. Moving along swiftly. Chance to be a fine thing. Right, let's come around here. So you can see I've got this rather strange pole contraption at the back. I got my erection stuck up in the air there just slightly. Basically I wanted to keep the back end, as it were. I wanted to keep the back end sort of low, but not too low. I knew there wouldn't be too much wind, and I've used Lassie's pack as a little bit of a windbreak under there, and a bit of a rain break if it rained and it started trying to get in there. So you can see actually the two corners, because of the lay of the grass, as it were, are almost pitched to the ground, that side particularly. And then obviously this one here is about a foot off the ground, and if the weather had have turned or it was particularly bad, then I could simply just take the pole out, and then of course the back end would then just come, you know, straight down there. Yeah, I know, you're very beautiful, Lassie. So this is kind of just the configuration that I've got at the back, and I wanted to, this is my sort of super, well actually it's not an ultralight trip, because my pack still is about 10 kilograms or something. I wanted to make this trip kind of as light as is possible. My pack is still about 10 kilograms, but that includes 3 days of food, which is, including tea, is 3 kilograms. And then I've got my tripod, that's on the pack, and that's about 700 grams. Lassie. And that's about 700 grams. So that's 4 kilograms off before you've even started. So I've probably got about 6 kilograms. This all seems it still seems quite a lot, but I don't have very much. Go on then. Go on then. Go on then, have a splash. Lassie. All right, well, I think I need to just very, very slowly start packing up. Yeah, because what I'm going to try and do, I'll do it as a separate sub video, as it were. But one of the another YouTuber that I've been following loosely, I don't watch very many videos generally, you know, on the outdoors. I'm out here myself so much and editing videos that I have to say I don't watch that many you know, other YouTubers, you know, coming out into the wilderness, because I'm kind of like doing it myself, as it were. So one I have been watching occasionally, and obviously Lassie is doesn't want to be left out, is the lone explorer Scott Parry. He posts on social media quite a bit, and he's into his lightweight equipment. There's not so many YouTubers that, you know, kind of want to go lightweight. Most of them just seem to want to take, you know, the most popular stuff for views, whereas Scott, he's different to me. He's a bit more sensible, but you know, he seems to like to come out in, you know, in lightweight equipment. So he posted a kit list the other week, and I brought it with me, and on his list he's weighed everything, and I've weighed most of my stuff. So in another video, you know, a bit later on or over the next day or two, my plan is to go through some of his stuff and kind of like compare it in weight to mine. Could just be interesting. We've not had a sort of a fun rivalry, as it were, since the days of Chad Stick Poindexter, when I first started out a long time ago. He used to be in America, and he used to do things with a Z-Packs. He was a big Z-Packs fan over in America, and we used to sort of comment on each other's videos, and it was kind of just fun. And he hasn't done YouTube for quite a long time now, and I kind of miss old Chad. I hope he's doing all right. So anyway, I'm going to I still walk around. Once it warms up, I do walk around bare feet, but I tend to try and be cautious with where I'm putting my feet, that I don't stand on a spike or a bee or something like that. And I think generally speaking, as long as you're reasonably sensible and you stay very close to camp, I mean, I'm not going to go walking all the way up there, for argument's sake, with bare feet. But as long as you stay, you know, close to camp and just watch where you're putting your feet and it's warm enough, it's actually quite nice just to, you know, take your shoes and socks off and just walk around a bit. It makes a change from having to wear your boots and shoes and everything else like that in the summer. All right, well, I'm going to hop back into camp, get a bit of charge on this GoPro, because even though I've got the new Enduro battery from GoPro, I have to say, personally, I think maybe it lasts a little bit longer, and it's maybe a little bit better than the regular battery, especially in the cold, they claim. But I have to say, personally, I've not noticed a massive difference, you know, cold or anything else. So I think get it if you really want it, but and I've got them, so I probably tend to use them now. But I have to say, I've not noticed a major difference with them, to be honest. Maybe a little bit, but I can't say very much. Maybe that's just my imagination, I'm not sure. Okay, well, like I said, I better start ducking inside. It's 11:30 and I don't want to be too late getting to Fair Tor. I was half thinking that I would be packing around about now, so, and heading off about 12. Well, I'm not going to be heading off realistically until 1 o'clock because I'm not the quickest of packers, but it really isn't that far, to be honest. It's literally just over that tor. You go down, along, and then up to Fair Tor. It's about 4 kilometers, so, you know, 2 hours maximum. I mean, realistically, you do it in an hour, you know, 4 kilometers. Lassie! Shh! I mean, realistically, you do 4 kilometers in an hour on good terrain without stopping. But I'll probably stop and do some video, and there's obviously a couple of inclines, one up there plus one up Fair Tor. Plus I will have to collect water on the way. So we better you know, start to pack up slowly. Oh, let's see. We're just sitting down. It's just gone 12, so we're not far away from heading out. Lassie's splashing down in the water. I've put everything in the pack that I don't need for this moment in time. There's still some more to go in, but I've packed most of the pack, and as you can see, or you can just about see, it's half or less than half full. So we definitely don't have very much this time. There's a little bit more to go in, and obviously the tarp has to go in later on. There's Splashy, but I've just brought my sit mat just to here. I've got a very nice sitting down position just there. Hopefully the wind doesn't, but a very nice, it's almost the exact height for my for my short fat hairy legs. But I was feeling, oh Lassie, settle down now, go back. Dear Lassie, gosh, you get so close to my tea. I think I'm going to put my tea. It's such a nice area here. It's perfect, really. It's probably why there's so many bloody people over there. But you know, it's perfect, really. You're down in a little bit of a sheltered-ish area down here. You've got like a pretty little Doe Tor up there. You've got some pretty tors, you know, right behind. It's spoilt by bloody people walking around everywhere. I suppose that's the only slight disadvantage of the summer, but quite soon we will eventually get going, and like I said, we'll head over to Fair Tor. We may see the odd person walking past there. It is, apart from Yes Tor and those high wheel haze and things over there, it is one of the highest tors here, so it kind of is a bit of a tourist spot as well, but in reality it's a hell of a slog, you know, unless you're actually, you know, got your backpack on and your walking boots on and that type of thing. The average person is not going to be going to Fair Tor. That's more your dedicated walker that's going to get that far. So hopefully there won't be anyone there. But anyway, I just wanted to just stop and just show. This is kind of how I like to do my camping and walking now, really. I would stay in one place and do nothing apart from make a few films and watch a few films and just chill out, or now we're in the summer, maybe go for like little teeny weeny short walks when I get round to it. Hopefully not too much longer now. We'll get going soon. I want to make sure I get there, you know, before dark. But given that dark isn't until gone 8 o'clock and it's now just gone 12 o'clock, theoretically we still have 8 hours, but it would be nice to be there not too much after 4. So that kind of means we kind of need to get going in the next hour to hour and a half, ideally, because I do think it's going to take a good couple of hours to get there, because I want to do a bit of filming on the way. We obviously have the Hound of the Baskervilles over there, as we can see those people. They've basically come around the back and then they're just walking around, and they're heading back to the car or the car park or wherever they're heading. Actually, it's quite interesting to know there's a path. I didn't know there was a path around that way, but either there's a path or they're just walking around that way. I'm not quite sure, but that's kind of handy to know as well. That might get you out of that wind going that way round. The kind of strange thing is, when I used to come here a long time ago, you know, before I was doing videos with Sue, we used to walk straight up. We used to walk straight up to Tor. We never took the path. We never went round the side. Never even knew the bloody path was there. I used to drag that poor girl straight up there. No pass, nothing, through all the rough stuff. And it was only I'll tell you, life is odd sometimes. Only after she went around, I don't know how I ever spotted. How can you walk up the same hill dozens of times, and it must have been a dozen or more times. It must have been a dozen or more times with someone, and never see the bloody path. And then after they go, you suddenly find the bloody path. How is that ever possible? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna have my tea. I'll see you later. Okay, well, it's nearly 2 o'clock and we've finally left camp, which was just down over there. I didn't have to come up to Doe Tor, but I thought I would come up to Doe Tor. So this is Doe Tor here. Don't actually think I've been up here. Oh no, I know I would have been up here in the last 10 years, because I used to come up there, and then yes, no, I would have been up here in the last 10 years, yes. But it's certainly been a while. I certainly haven't been up here for a while, that is for sure. But it's there's quite a Lassie, there's quite a wee little drop down there. It's strange really, because you've got kind of like a gentle rise of earth up here, you know, with moorland up here, and it's almost like, and then it's like a gentle rise up there as well. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but, and then you've got some rocks over there, and then obviously some rocks here. Yet somehow these rocks here have got a whole load of earth and peat and all that type of stuff, whatever, you know, and obviously, you know, grass up here. So I wonder how this got here. What I'm trying to say is, obviously you've got rocks here and here, so why doesn't it look like these rocks? How do those rocks there, for example, have earth coming up to them? I don't know whether anyone has any idea what I'm trying to talk about. It's just as strange. You're kind of like walking along moorland across there, and then there's like a sudden drop down to there. Obviously you can get down through that little gap through there easily, and of course you can walk around easily. It's just quite a interesting phenomenon. Anyway, we're going to get cracking and head. Chat Tor is over there. Chat Tor's hiding. Sharp Tor, heading to Sharp Tor. I think that's Sharp Tor, Hare Tor, Gare Tor, and then that kind of goes down into a little, well, some houses eventually. And then of course over there you have Great Links Tor, and then hiding sort of kind of behind there, that's Arms Tor. So I camped at Arms Tor last year one night. I think Mike and some other friends asked if I would join them on Great Links Tor. I wasn't free that day, so hopefully another time. I'll try and meet up with people occasionally as and when it happens and I've got time and they're free. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my Wild About Watches channel. There you will see me walking from Doe Tor all the way to Fur Tor, following the Garmin Fenix 7X, kind of.